chapter 46 through 50. Bear with me as I try to get through this. Y'all willing? Yeah, willing. The book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 1. Bel has bowed down, Nebo is stooping. Their idols were on the beasts and on the cattle. That which is carried is burdensome, a burden to the weary. Verse 2. They have stooped, they have bowed down together. They were unable to deliver the burden, but they themselves went into captivity. Verse 3. Listen to me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, who are born from the belly, who are carried from the womb. Verse 4. Even to your old age, I am he, and even to gray hairs I carry. I have made and I bear, and I carry and rescue. So even to our old age and our gray hair, the Most High carries us. He's letting us know that He carries us. He has made and bear and carry and rescue, even into our old age. Even into our old age. Verse 5. To whom do you liken me and compare me and make me similar, that we should be alike? So the Most High is like, man, you can't compare me to no one, nothing and no one else. You can't compare. There's no comparison. And he's asking through Isaiah, to whom do you liken me and compare me and make me similar, that we should be alike? Verse 6. They pour gold out of the bag and weigh silver on the scale. They hire a goldsmith, and he makes it a mighty one. They fall down, they also bow themselves. So he's describing what most folks did in ancient times, which is like carve images and carve up, this gold into these mighty ones, these idols, and they'll worship these idols and bow themselves down to them. Verse 7. They bear it on the shoulder. They carry it and set it in its place, and it stands. From its place it does not move. Though one cries out to it, it does not answer, nor save him from his distress. So he's explaining, the Most High is explaining through Isaiah, like, as we can see today, the idols that people have in their homes, they don't call them idols, but that's what they are. You can equate this to statues. You could equate this to, sculptures. Like, these things, these items don't move. These objects don't move. They just stand there. They're just sculpted, and even though the artist sculpted a face on it, even though the carver carved a face on it, it's not something that can talk, speak, respond, and give you answers. Verse 8, remember this and show yourselves men. Turn it back. You remember verse 8, remember this and show yourselves men. Turn it back, you transgressors. So he's telling the men to turn back to his instructions, turn back to his instructions because you transgressed. He's letting them know to turn back to his instructions because you transgressed. If you went as far as to have these carved images, if you went as far as to have these idols. Verse 9, remember the former events of old, for I am El, and there is no one else, Elohim, and there is no one like me. So he said, I am God, is no one like me. This is what he's saying. This is what he's saying through Isaiah. Like he's like God is saying is that the Most High is saying, I am I am the Most High. There is no one like me. Turn back to my instructions. Turn back to my ways. Remember the old ways. Remember the former events of old. The former events of old is when he put, you know, when he put his name into the world, and he you know he pretty much demonstrated these marvels and these miracles and these wonders through Moses in order to, show the world his name, who he was. And this was on a big stage like Egypt. This was he done this through bringing he built Pharaoh up. He built Pharaoh up to bring him down on to where as though it's remembered to this day. You know, so these are the events of old that he wants us to remember. Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning. Let me repeat verse 9. I mean, remember the former events of old, for I am El, and there is no one else, Elohim. There is no one else, Elohim, and there is no one like me. Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from of old that which has not yet been done, saying, my counsel does stand, and all my delight I do. So he's letting it be known like he's the one who declares the end from the beginning. He's the one that declares that. Verse 11, calling a bird of prey from the east, the man who executes my counsel from a distant land. Indeed, I have spoken it. I also bring it to pass. I have planned it. I also do it. So he's the one who makes the plans and carries them out. Verse 12, listen to me, you stubborn hearted who are far from righteousness. Stubborn hearted who are far from righteousness. Those who are far from righteousness are those who are disobedient. Those who are disobedient. When you're far from righteousness, that means you're far from his instructions. You're far from obeying his spiritual laws in his spiritual government. You're far from it. This is what makes you, you know, far from his righteousness. Verse 13, and this is like most people today because it's like he says in verse 12, it says, listen to me, you stubborn hearted. Most folks are stubborn hearted. They don't acknowledge his instructions. They believe that they're obsolete. They believe that his spiritual laws and his spiritual government doesn't have to be obeyed. They believe that they're, fine without them, saved without them. These are the stubborn hearted. Verse 13, I shall bring my righteousness near it, is not far off, and my deliverance, it is not delayed. and I shall give deliverance in Zion, my esteem to Israel. This is the scriptures, yes. This is the book of Isaiah. Just read chapter 46. Now we're moving into chapter 47. Chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O maiden daughter of Babel. Sit on the ground without a throne, O daughter of Kasdim. For, for no more do they call you tender and delicate. Verse 2. Take the milestones and grind flour. Remove your veil, lift up the skirt, uncover the legs, pass through rivers. Verse 3. Let your nakedness be uncovered, let your shame also be exposed. I take vengeance and meet no man. Verse 4. Our Redeemer, Yahuwah of hosts, is his name, the set apart one of Yisrael. Verse 5. Sit silent and go into darkness, O daughter of Kasdim, for no more do they call you mistress of reigns. Verse 6. I was rough with my people. I have profaned my inheritance, and I gave them into your hand. You showed them no compassion. You made your yoke very heavy on the elderly. Verse 7. And you said, I am mistress forever, so that you did not take these matters to heart and did not remember the latter end of them. Verse 8. And now hear this, you who are given to pleasures, who dwells complacently, who says in your heart, I am, and there is none but me. I do not sit as a widow, nor do I know the loss of children. Sounds familiar? Sounds like folks of today. Verse 9. Both of these come to you suddenly in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon you in completeness, because of your many witchcrafts, for your numerous great potent spells. So this is what's to come to folks, who believe they're, untouchable, unstoppable, and there's no one to answer to. This is what's to come to them. It says, both of these come to you suddenly in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon you in completeness because of your many witchcrafts, because of your many witchcrafts. So this is why this is coming about on these people, on these folks, those who, deal in witchcraft. It says, because of your many witchcrafts, for your numerous great potent spells, your numerous great potent spells. So this is in scripture. This is basically, something that's in existence. Like this is amongst us. You got people working witchcraft. You got people working potent spells. And these folks, the scripture says that these folks will face, sudden loss of children and widowhood. So they'll find themselves without children, and they find themselves without husband because of their witchcraft and their potent spells. So this is something to think about. All the women who like to dabble in this mess. Like maybe you don't, maybe you're without child, and maybe you're without husband because of this. Maybe you lost children, and maybe you've lost husbands because of this mess, because of your witchcraft, because of your potent spells. Just a thought. I gotta remember that because I know a girl. She's like, that's her thing. She don't like to call it what it is, but it is what it is. And this is probably why she's, single and without children. Verse 10. And you have trusted in your evil. You have said, no one sees me. Your wisdom and your knowledge have led you astray. And you have said in your heart, I am, and there is none but me. So these are folks who like they believe there's no one to answer to. They believe that there's, there's not a God to answer to or a creator to who's watching and will hold them accountable. And this is their own wisdom, their own knowledge that they're led astray by, and they trust in their own evil. Verse 11. But evil shall come upon you, you not knowing from where it arises, and trouble fall upon you, you being unable to put it off, and ruin come upon you suddenly, which you know not. Verse 12. Stand now. So let's like before I get into that, is he's explaining to those who deal with witchcraft, if you're just pulling up, those who deal with in this witchcraft and potent spells, this is what's coming on you. It says, but evil shall come upon you, you knowing from where it rises, you not knowing from where it rises. And trouble fall upon you, you being unable to put it off. And ruin come upon you suddenly, which you know not. Verse 12. Stand now with your potent spells and your many witchcrafts in which you have labored from your youth. If so, be you are able to profit. If so, be you find strength. Verse 13. You are exhausted by your many counsels. Let the astrologers, the stargazers, and those who prognosticate by the new moons stand up and save you from what it is coming upon you. So this is like he's explaining how this is directly, you know, uh, addressing those who are into astrology, stargazing, you know, and those who prognosticate by the new moons stand up and save you. Like he's telling you to, ask them, tell them to save you. You know, let the people, let the those you seek in astrology save you and tell you how to get out of your situation, get out of the evil that's been brought on to you, the destruction that's been brought on to you, the judgment that's been brought on to you. You know, tell them how to get you, tell them how to get out, tell them to tell you how to get out of that, how to save you from all that. It says, you are exhausted by your many counsels. Let the astrologers, the stargazers, and those who prognosticate by the new moon stand up and save you from what it is coming upon you. Verse 14. See, they shall be a stubble, fire shall burn them. They do not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There is not a coal to be warmed by, nor a fire to sit before it. So he's basically saying like it's nothing that's going to save you from the wrath that's coming. And these are, like I said, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 47. And this is breaking down those who dabble in witchcraft, dabble in potent spells, the judgment that's coming upon you, and those who like take counsel and this astrologers and the stargazers, those who take counsel in that, you know, like this is what's to come to you, this wrath, and there's no one can save you, not your stargazers, not your, you know, not your astrologers. None of that can save you from the wrath and the judgment that's to come. Those who dabble in this witchcraft and these potent spells. Verse 15. So they shall be to you with whom you have labored, your merchants from your youth. They shall wander, each one his own way. There is none to save you. There is none to save you. Everybody's going to be going in their own direction, trying to save themselves, trying to figure out their own lives, why things are happening to them. Each individual that's dabbling in these crafts and these spells are all going to be, running around trying to figure out what's happening to them, why it's happening to them. Chapter 48, verse 1. Hear this, O house of Jacob, who are called by the name of Yisrael and have come from the waters of Yehuda, who swear by the name of Yahuwah and profess the Elohim of Yisrael, though not in truth or in righteousness. So let's read that again. Chapter 48, verse 1. Hear this, O house of Jacob, who are called by the name of Yisrael and have come from the waters of Yehudah, who swear by the name of Yahuwah and profess the Elohim of Yisrael, though not in truth or in righteousness. Verse 2. For they call themselves after the set apart city and lean on the Elohim of and lean on for they call themselves after the set apart city and lean on the Elohim of Yisrael, Yahuwah of hosts, in his name. So this is familiar. Does this sound familiar? Folks who call themselves after the set apart city and lean on the Elohim of Yisrael, Yahuwah of hosts, in his name. Yeah. Sound like them folks, right? Verse 3. I have declared the former events from the beginning, and they went forth from my mouth, and I made you hear them. Suddenly I acted, and they came to be. Verse 4. Because I knew that you were hard and your neck was an iron sinew, and your forehead bronze. Verse 5. Therefore I declared it to you long ago. Before it came, I made you hear, lest you should say, my idol has done them, and my carved image and my molded image commanded them. So he's saying, like, I let it be known beforehand, you know, long ago. So they can't point and say like the carved images is responsible. Like these idols were responsible for this. No, this is not the work of your idols. These are not the work of your carved images. Verse 6. You have heard, look at them all, and do you not declare it? From now on I shall make you hear new ones, even hidden ones, which you have not known. So he's basically talking about these new prophecies, which we have not known. Verse 7, now they shall be created, and not long ago. Verse 7, now they shall be created, and not long ago. And before this day you have not heard them, lest you should say, look, I knew them. No, you didn't know, because it's being presented to you today through Isaiah, either through Isaiah, as we read, you know. Let's keep reading, see what he's getting at. Verse 8, no, you have not heard, no, you have not known, no, from of old your ear has not been opened, because I knew that you are indeed treacherous and are called a transgressor from the womb. So these people are called transgressors from the womb. These folks he's referring to. He knew how treacherous they are, how, how deceiving they can be. Verse 9, for my name's sake, I postpone my displeasure, and for my praise, I held it back from you, so as not to cut you off. Verse 10, see, I have refined you, but not as silver. I have chosen you in the furnace of affliction. Verse 11, for my own sake, he has said this twice, I do it. For how is it profane? And my esteem I do not give to another. So he's letting it be known it's for his own sake that he, you know, that he has mercy on most of us. It's for his own sake that he has mercy on most of us who represents his name, represents his way, represents his instructions, represents his only begotten son. It's for his own sake. It's for the sake of his name and his brand. Like he's not going to, it's like a business, right? You're if someone's a rep, if someone works for you, you're not going to embarrass the person that works for you. Like you're not going to make, you're going to make sure they're in, they're upheld as someone in good standing, someone, that's reliable, someone in a good, you know, has a good reputation. You want to uphold their reputation because their reputation is your reputation. You know what I mean? Their reputation is your reputation, and you don't want anything to happen to their reputation because they represent you. So this is how the Most High treats us. Those who represent Him, he makes sure that we're all right because He doesn't want, it's for His sake, not for anything that we do or for our sake. Is more so that it's because we follow his instructions, we represent him, we represent his name, we represent his son, his only begotten son. And this is why, the Most High, you know, allows us to do us, to basically exist. And this is a clear indication of that. Verse 12, listen to me, O Jacob and Yisrael, my called. I am he, I am the first, I am also the last. Verse 13, also, my hand has laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand has stretched out the heavens. I call to them, let them stand together. So he's letting it be known he's the first and the last. We hear that in different places in the writings in the scriptures, and he's letting it be known that he stretched out the heavens and he laid the foundation of the earth. Like this is his work. Verse 14. All of you, gather yourselves and hear. Who among them has declared these? Yahuwah has loved him. Let him do his pleasure on Babel, and his arm be on the Kasdim. Verse 15. I have spoken. I have also called him. I have brought him, and he shall make his way prosperous. Verse 16. Come near to me. Hear this. I have not spoken in secret from the beginning. From the time that it is, from the time that it was, I was there. And now the Master Yahuwah has sent me in his spirit. So, yeah, now we're getting the third person, or is this is either Isaiah speaking himself, or this is, you know, something else going on. Most will believe that this is the Messiah, his only begotten son, spoken of. So it says, not spoken in secret from the beginning. From the time it was, I was there. Now, Master sent me. Come, come near to me. Hear this. I have not spoken in secret from the beginning. From the time that it was, I was there. And now, the Master Yahuwah has sent me in his spirit. So, this could be the prophecy of the only begotten Son, and the only begotten Son coming and, basically because of who sent him, which is his father. So this is Isaiah prophesying the coming of the Messiah, the only begotten Son of God. Come near me. It says, come near to me. Hear this. I have not spoken in secret from the beginning. From the time that I was there. And now the Master Yahuwah has sent me in his spirit. And his spirit. Sent me in his spirit. Sent me in his spirit. That's key. Sent me in his spirit. So this is his son and the only begotten. It's his son that the Most High sent and his set apart spirit that he sent. So both was sent, the only begotten son in the flesh and the set apart spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, the holy part that was known as the Holy Spirit. This was sent. This was sent by the Most High Abba Yah. Verse 17, thus said Yahuwah, your Redeemer, the set apart one of Yisrael. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim, teaching you what is best, leading you by the way you should go. Did the only begotten Son not come along and do this? Did the only begotten Son did not come along and do this? He came along and taught us. He came along and led us by the way we should go. So if you don't know, get to know, you know, because yeah, there was only one born from the set apart spirit, documented to be born from the set apart spirit. Verse 18, if only you had listened to my commands, then your peace would have been like a river and your righteousness like the waves of the sea. So, yeah, If only you have listened. If only you have listened to his commands, then your peace would have been like a river and your righteousness like the waves of the sea. So a lot of people is not a lot of people are not listening to his instructions, let alone following his instructions. They're not listening to them. They have their own instructions, their own ideas they done conjured in their own minds. And you know, they they should just stick to that. They shouldn't just stick to that. They should repent and turn back. But yet, they try to push the nonsense on other people. If it's not for you, if it's not for them, keep it moving. If it's not for you, keep it moving. You know, don't you're not held hostage to someone's you know reading, and no one no one cares about yours. No one has to care about yours. So it's like it's no point to you know waste your energy, your time trying to convince others of your understanding. If you ain't understanding how that person is understanding, or just keep it moving. If that person is not understanding how you're understanding, keep it moving. It's that simple. Otherwise, you're just wasting your energy. Like you see it every day. Verse 19, and your seed would have been like the sand, and the offspring of your inward parts like the grain of sand. His name would not have been cut off nor destroyed from before me. So he's basically saying, had you known the Most High, had you known him, had you known his teachings, had you known the teachings of his only begotten Son, had you known these teachings, had you known his commands, had you listened to his commands, you would be at peace, not fussing, not fighting, not trying to get into debates and arguments, misunderstandings with people. You would be at peace. And your righteousness like the waves of the sea. Your righteousness meaning your obedience. You will be obeying what it is to obey. And your seed would have been like the sand. You know, you would have been fruitful in reproduction, your offspring, your grain. You would have been you'd be wealthy in grain, and his name would not have been cut off from you. And you would know his name. You would know his name. This is written. This is the scriptures. If you don't believe in the scriptures, I don't know this ain't the place for you. If you don't believe what is written, this ain't the place for you. You got to create your own space in your own place. But this is where we read. This is where we're reading the scriptures, and this is what the scriptures is saying that you know had you been had you took had you taken heed to the teachings of the only begotten Son, the commands, followed the instructions of of the Father and his commands, you would have your name. You would know his name. The name wouldn't be cut off from you. You would know his name and respect his name. But yet you don't know his name. You don't respect his name, and it shows. It shows in most people. Verse verse 20. Come out of Babel. Come out of Babel. Flee from the Kasdim. Declare this with a voice of singing. Proclaim it. Send it out to the ends of the earth. Say, Yahuwah has redeemed his servant Jacob. Verse 21. And they did not thirst when he led them through the deserts. He caused waters from a rock to flow for them. He split the rock and the waters gushed out. So like it's like had he like must he had to remind us what he's done, the wonders he's done through Moses? This is him reminding us through Isaiah. And they did not thirst when he led them through the desert. He caused waters from a rock to flow for them. He split the rock and waters gushed out. He's letting it be known, man. Like he took care of us from the he took care of us since the time in the desert. Verse 22. There is no peace for the wrong, said Yahuwah. There is no peace for the wrong. Those who do wrong, those who say what is wrong, and those who do what is wrong and do people wrong. There is no peace for you. When you say the wrong things and you do the wrong things and you do people wrong, there is no peace for you. You know this. You know who you done wrong. You know who you said the wrong things to. And this is why there is no peace for you. You this is exactly why there is no peace for you. Every every verse show itself to be true in each of our lives. No matter how much you try to deny it. Every verse in the writings in the scriptures show itself to be true in what we do, in everything that we do, in who we are. You know, and this is why most folks, this is why most folks struggle. This is why most folks struggle with themselves, struggle with reading and understanding spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, prophecies, teachings, examples, blessings of the only begotten Son. This is why. And they waste their time instead of trying to get to understand through their obedience to the instructions first. They act as if they already understand and they just go in on people and go in on people platforms and just without understanding themselves. Most people who don't know themselves, try to tell someone about themselves, tell others about themselves. Like, how are you going to tell someone else about themselves? You don't know yourself. You don't know yourself. You don't even know yourself. You can't do that. Verse 49, chapter 49, verse 1. Listen to me, O coastlands, and hear, you peoples from afar. Yahuwah has called me from the womb, from the mother's belly. He has caused my name to be remembered. Listen to me, O Yah. It says, listen to me, O coastlands, and hear, you peoples from afar. Yahuwah has called me from the womb, from my mother's belly. He has caused my name to be remembered. He is called. Verse 2. And he made my mouth like a sharp sword in the shadow of his hand. He hid me and made me a polished shaft in his quiver. He hid me. I wonder who he's speaking about. I wonder who he's talking about. Verse 3. And he said to me, you are my servant, O Yisrael, in whom I adorn. Verse 4. And I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for emptiness and in vain. But my right ruling is with Yahuwah, and my work with Elohim. Verse 5. And now said Yahuwah, who formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob back to him. Though Israel is not gathered to him, yet I am esteemed in the eyes of Yahuwah, and my Elohim has been my strength. Verse 6. And he says, shall it be a small matter for you to be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to bring back the preserved ones of Israel? And I shall give you as a light to the nations, to be my deliverance to the ends of the earth. Wonder who he's speaking about. Is he not speaking about his only begotten son? Let's keep reading. Verse 7. Thus said Yahuwah, the Redeemer of Israel, their set apart one, to the despised, to the loath one of the nation, to the servant of rulers. Sovereigns shall see and arise. Rulers also shall bow themselves because of Yahuwah, who is steadfast, the set apart one of Israel, and he has chosen you. Sounds familiar? Sounds like someone we have an idea of. Verse 8. Thus said Yahuwah, in a favorable time I shall answer you, and in the day of deliverance I shall help you, and I guard you and give you for a covenant of the people, to restore the earth, to cause them to inherit it, the ruined inheritance. Verse 9. To say to the prisoners, go out, to those who are in darkness, show yourselves. Let them feed on the ways, and let their pasture be on all bare hills. Verse 10. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither heat or sun strike them. For he who has compassion on them shall lead them even by fountains of water, guide them. Verse 11. And I shall make all my mountains a way, and my highways raised up. Verse 12. See, these come from afar away, and see, those from the north and the west, and those from the land of Sinim. Verse 13. Sing, O heavens, rejoice, O earth, and break out in singing, O mountains, for Yahuwah shall comfort his people and have compassion on his afflicted ones. compassion on his afflicted ones. So this same compassion that he will have on others, he's expecting each individual who claims to represent him, claim to believe in him, claim to know him, claim to bel have faith in him. He's expecting this same compassion to be demonstrated from us. He's expecting that same compassion. But if you can't demonstrate, since you can't demonstrate that compassion, how can you call yourself one of his? How can you call yourself one of his if you can't demonstrate, you know, the mercy, the compassion is not in you? You're not one of his. You're not a child of his. If this trait is not in you, if this trait is not in you, if this mercy trait is not in you, if this compassion trait is not in you, if you can't forgive, don't expect to be forgiven. If you can't have mercy, don't expect to be given mercy. If you can't show compassion, don't expect to receive compassion. You won't get it. And you literally won't get it. You won't understand any of that. You'll think that, oh, he, he he's supposed to have compassion on people who look like you. The only begotten son breaks down how that's false. The only begotten son of Yah debunks that in his teachings. Most people, they try to push the nationalism or the, how the favoritism of their own kind. Oh, it's just for us. It's just for people. It's just for your brother and your sister. It's not just for your brother and your sister. It's for all people. You got to be compassionate towards all people. You know. So it's like you gotta you gotta do better. We gotta do better. You know. And it's obvious. People got it bad, man. Is I don't blame them. I blame the unclean spirit that's on them to lead them to say the things that they say and type the things that they type. Is really a health issue. You know, it really is a health issue, and that's the only way I can sum it up. It's a serious health issue. Verse 49. I'm sorry, chapter 49. Is that where we are? I think we further than that. Wait a minute. Because I know we left off where compassion. And I had to just, like, you know, put emphasis on that verse about compassion. Oh yeah, yeah. So chapter 49, verse 15. Would a woman forget her nursing child and not have compassion on the son of her womb? Though they forget, I never forgot you. I think we are further up from that. Let me see. Mm. All right, so verse 10 is where we left off. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither heat or sun strike them, for he who has compassion on them shall lead them even by fountains of water, guide them. Verse 11, and I shall make all my mountains a way, and my highways raised up. See, these come from far away, and see those from the north and the west, and these from the land of sin. Verse 13, sing, O heavens, rejoice, O earth, and break out in singing, O mountains, for Yahuwah shall comfort his people and have compassion on his afflicted ones. That's where we left off in 13. Having compassion on the afflicted ones. Having compassion on afflicted ones. Verse 14, but Zion says, Yahuwah has forsaken me, and Yahuwah has forgotten me. Verse 15, would a woman forget her nursing child and not have compassion on the son of her womb? Though they forget, I never forget you. Verse 16, see, I have inscribed you on Psalms of my hands. Your walls are always before me. Verse 17, your sons shall hurry, your destroyers and those who laid you waste depart from you. Verse 18, lift up your eyes round about and see all of them gathered together and come to you as I live, declares Yahuwah. You shall put on all of them as an ornament and bind them on you as a bride does. Verse 19, for your waste and your deserted places and the land of your destruction shall soon be too narrow for the inhabitants, while those who swallow you up are far away. Verse 20, the sons of your bereavement shall yet say in your ears, the place is too narrow for me. Make room for me to live. Verse 21, and you shall say in your heart, who has brought forth these for me, since I am bereaved and barren and exile and wandering to and fro, and who reared them? See, I was left alone. From where did these come? Verse 22, thus said the master Yahuwah, see, I lift my hand up to the nations and set up my banner for the peoples, and they shall bring your sons in their arms, and your daughters carried on their shoulders. Verse 23, and sovereigns shall be your foster fathers, and their sovereigness your nursing mothers. They bow down to you with their faces to the earth and lick up the dust of your feet. And you shall know that I am Yahuwah. Those who wait for me shall not be ashamed. So it's this verse just remind me of the nonsense that goes on. But I'm not even going to entertain it. because I could see how this verse can be misused and misinterpreted and have people doing, the nonsense which is against the teachings of the Messiah, the only begotten Son of Yah. So it says, yet thus said Yahuwah, even the captives of the mighty are taken away, and the prey. Well, before I get in that, verse 24, it is prey taken from the mighty, and the captives of the righteous delivered. Verse 25, yet thus said Yahuwah, even the captives of the mighty are taken away, and the prey of the ruthless is delivered. And I strive with him who strive with me. I strive with him who strives with you, and I save your children. Verse 26, and I shall feed those who oppress you with their own flesh, and let them drink their own blood as sweet wine. All flesh shall know that I, Yahuwah, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. So yeah, this is prophecy. And speaking of either times, ancient times, or one can interpret it as times to come. But yeah, we don't got time for verse 50. Thus says Yahuwah, where is the certificate of your mother's divorce, whom I have put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Look, you were sold for your crookedness, and your mother was put away for your transgression. So, yeah, the divorce certificate. Thus says Yahuwah, where is the certificate of your mother's divorce, whom I have put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Look, you were sold for your crookedness, and your mother was put away for your transgressions. Verse 2. When I when I came, why was there no man? When I called, why was there no one to answer? Was my hand too short to ransom? Or have I no power to deliver? See, my rebuke, I dry up the sea. I make the rivers a wilderness. Their fish stink, for there is not water, and die of thirst. Verse 3, I clothe the heavens with darkness, and I make sackcloth their covering. Verse 4, the Master Yahuwah has given me the tongue of taught ones, that I should know to help the weary with a word. He wakes me morning by morning. He wakes my ear to hear as taught ones. Taught ones. Taught ones. Taught ones of who? Taught ones of his only begotten Son. Verse 5, the Master Yahuwah has opened my ear, and I was not rebellious, nor did I turn away. Verse 6, I gave my back to those who struck me, and my cheeks to those who plucked out the beard. I did not hide my face from humiliation and spitting. Sounds like the only begotten Son. Verse 7, and the Master Yahuwah helps me, therefore I shall not be humiliated. So I have set my face like a flint, and I know that I am not put to shame. Sounds like the only begotten Son of Yah. This is prophecy. This is Isaiah prophesying the days the only begotten Son of Yah walked the earth in the flesh. Verse 8, near is he who declares me right, who would contend with me. Let us stand together. Who is my adversary? Let him come near me. Verse 9, see, the Master Yahuwah helps me. Who would declare me wrong? See, all of them wear out like a garment. A moth eats them. Verse 10, who among you is fearing Yahuwah, obeying the voice of his servant, that has walked in darkness and has no light? Let him trust in the name of Yahuwah and lean upon his Elohim. Who among you is fearing Yahuwah, obeying the voice of his servant, that has walked in darkness and has no light? So when you fearing Yah, that means you know, you're hating evil. Verse 11, see, all you who light a fire, girding on burning arrows, walk in the light of your fire, and in the burning arrows you have lit. From my hand you shall have this. You shall lie down in grief. And that completes the reading. That completes the reading of the book of Isaiah, chapter 46 through 50. And stick around or come back. I'm gonna I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna get back on. I'm gonna get off and get back on and start a new live reading from the book of Matthew, the teachings of the teacher, the only begotten Son. So yeah, I'm gonna bless us out just in case you don't make it back. I'm gonna bless us out according to the blessing that was given to Moshe in the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 23 to 26. Receive your blessing. May Yahuwah bless you, barak you, and guard you. May Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. May Yahuwah lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Peace, love, Shabbat Shalom. Until next live, Shabbat Shalom, peace, and love.